Leadership should be born out of the understanding of the needs of those who would be affected by it.
My style is probably more of a diplomatic style. For the challenges that face the Negotiation Center, a teamwork approach seems most appropriate. I think as we go through our career and the challenges that we have in different roles, our leadership style changes a little bit to suit those roles. But for us, the teamwork, being supportive of each other, our goal is to provide a reliable, consistent deliverable to our customers. That type of style works best. But even with that diplomatic approach, I'm still ultimately responsible for what happens in our group, and I do make the last decisions, but I want to listen to my people, make sure we're supporting each other.
I came out of a period of time over 35 years ago in engineering where women were just entering the workforce. I had no role models. I had to basically develop myself on my own for several years. The roles weren't fully identified at that point. And there were no women in management or supervisory roles for me to use as an example for my growth. And the other thing that was different was the management style was very different. When I joined the workforce, it was a command and control, top-down leadership. And today, it's more of a team. It stimulates more innovation. It's been 40 decades. That's a long time where women have really entered the workforce dramatically in all fields, not just engineering.
Namely, my father inspired me to be a leader. He had 21 years of state service with HHC, and there was a time when we actually worked for the same state agency at the same time. So I got to see how he developed into a leader in his own right, and I wanted to emulate that. And so when I moved over to TxDOT and kind of had that opportunity, my father and I have had a lot of discussions on situations and best practices, and so he's really been my sounding board to help me grow and develop my team. And we both have that HR background, so that's also been very helpful in developing. Taught me how to be a successful leader, and I am proud to follow in his footsteps.
Becoming a manager was very new to me, and I didn't want to just manage. I wanted to be more than just a manager. I wanted to bring people together. I wanted to create a high-performing team. I wanted this, my impact in the organization to be significant. I wanted it to be not just a management position. I wanted it to be a leadership role. Figuring out that management is different from leadership. It's not just, you're not just telling people what to do. You're actually getting in there and, interacting with your team and solving problems with your team and listening to what their concerns and their needs are. You're inspiring people, really, is what a leader does. I want their opinions. I want their ideas. We meet and share, best practices, and I want their ideas to become implemented in whatever decision I make, because I want them to have ownership in that particular project or that idea or that task.
In the 30 years, I've worked through several department-wide reorganizations and continuous improvement campaigns. I think you need to focus on your environment. Really, what do you value? And you need to focus on your culture. Do the traditions match the expectations of you and your staff today? I absolutely believe you need to establish trust, you need to promote knowledge sharing, and you need to empower your staff to do their work. You have to understand the needs of those that you're leading. And so when you do that and you recognize the strengths, individual strengths in others, and then you place them in that role and they are able to be successful, that just builds that momentum. And then you bring those individuals into that team setting, and you, in this positive environment, everyone feels safe to speak openly, to be creative, to brainstorm. And if they have any concerns, again, in this environment, they're able to speak up. And so it really builds this sense of community, and it establishes that respect and trust. And when you have that respect and trust, really the sky's the limit for the team. I found that the leaders and the staff in the PEPS division have these same beliefs.
As I had worked for PEPS for a couple of years, I became a lead procurement engineer. And our leadership program within PEPS asked me to come and talk to the group about leadership and what it is and what it means. And I went to my hotel room that night before the meeting, and I thought, it's just really a list of qualities. So I made a list of 10 qualities. And I went into that classroom the next day and just broke it down to them by what it was. And the top 3 on that list are items that I tell my kids, I tell my staff, I tell myself, because it is the greatest confidence builder to me. So number 1 is choose to do the right thing. You know what it is in your heart. Choose to do the right thing. Number 2, respect others, even when it's hard, and it can be real hard. But you will never go to bed worrying about how well you treated someone. So I tell my kids, my friends, my staff, keep going, respect others, even when you don't get it. And then the 3rd is know when to stand your ground. And I truly believe that there is a time when you know this is the battle that you have to pick. And if you have chosen to do the right thing and you have respected others, you're going to have support to make things right.
I value integrity. I try to do the right things at all times. I value developing and sustaining relationships built on trust and respect. I think it's good to have a personal board of directors that provides you honest feedback, knows and respects your values and your work ethics. I think you need to balance both professional and personal development.
My message to the future women leaders at TxDOT is to be steadfast and honest, face the challenges, don't give up, because everything is a learning experience and you will grow from those challenges that you face throughout your career, and that's what's important, is your growth as a person, as a leader, and as an engineer.